If you're anything like I was, then this is probably what happens when you sit down to study. You plan to get a particular amount of work done by a certain time and start with great determination. As you're reading, one by one, irrelevant thoughts crop up in your mind. After a while, you suddenly wake up and realize that you've been browsing through Facebook for the past 40 minutes. This pattern repeats over and over again. Long hours of focused study seems like a big myth. But then, how is it that a lot of successful people get quality work done in such a distracted world? How do they deal with their distractions? In his book, Deep Work, author Cal Newport tries to answer this question and gives tips on how you too can focus and succeed in getting things done. In the year 2007, J.K. Rowling was in a lot of pressure while writing her final book of the Harry Potter series. But she just couldn't focus at her house, surrounded by screaming kids and barking dogs. So instead, she shifted base to a hotel suite downtown. She said, "I didn't intend to stay there, but the first day's writing went so well, so I kept coming back. And I ended up finishing the last of the Harry Potter books here." Mark Twain's study was so isolated from his house that his family took to blowing a horn to attract his attention for meals. In order to focus on his writings in complete isolation, renowned psychiatrist and writer Carl Jung even went as far as to construct a separate 2-story building in a faraway village with no electricity or telephone. Notice how, by isolating themselves, they eliminated the need to fight their distractions. Resisting distractions was no longer a question of fighting against chance or exercising their willpower. This method helped them go deep into their subjects and come up with ideas and stories that nobody else can replicate. This is an example of what Cal calls deep work. While checking into an expensive hotel or constructing a separate building for work might not be practical options for you, you can still try to optimize your environment to help you focus. This can mean trying to anticipate and eliminate distractions beforehand. Before starting your deep work session, let your family or friends know you'll be busy for a few hours. Switch off your phone, internet, and whatever gadget you might have that may distract you. Wear noise-cancelling headphones if you need to. Work early in the morning like I do, or late at night if that's what you prefer. Do whatever is needed to let you perform uninterrupted deep work. When you switch from watching television or browsing the internet to studying, you still can't stop yourself from thinking about the things you saw or read on the internet. This happens due to the attention residue effect, which states that when you try to switch from task A to task B, a significant part of your attention is still on task A. Although you may think that multitasking will help you get more work done in less time, that isn't what usually happens. Even if you do get more done, it sure reduces the quality of that work. Stop multitasking. Even if you have more than one important task to do, prioritize and try to pick only one task to work on. Finish it and only then move on to the next. Divide your days into working and non-working blocks. Keep working blocks long, at least a couple of hours, preferably more. This helps eliminate the attention residue from other tasks. A key tip here is to schedule your internet breaks. You don't have to completely shun internet usage. Just remember to keep it short and make sure it doesn't exceed the allocated time. Sometimes it may happen that in the middle of a work block, I need to research something online. In this case, I usually try to put it off till the end of the current block. If it can't wait, I make sure to only look for exactly what I want and get off the internet ASAP. There may be days when you just don't feel like doing anything productive. But just because you don't feel like it isn't reason enough to actually not do anything. By making deep work a ritual, you can take away the motivation factor from the equation. Whether you feel like working or not, you just do it anyway. Think about when is the best time to do deep work? Where will you go to work? How long will you work? Once you finalize this plan, do the same things at the same time every day. Make deep work a ritual. Network tools can be anything from Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, or any other tool in existence. There may be situations when using a particular tool is necessary, but more often than not, it isn't. Most people use the any benefit approach while selecting a network tool. This means that if there's any benefit at all to using it, they'll use it. Say for example, Facebook. People justify using it because it helps them stay in touch with acquaintances. However, what actually happens, as you're probably aware, is that most of the time on Facebook is spent looking at random memes or links and not actually engaging in meaningful conversations with friends. A much better way to select network tools is the craftsman approach. Identify the core factors that determine success and happiness in your personal and professional life. Adopt a tool only if its positive impacts on these core factors outweigh its negative impacts. For example, if you run a website or sell a product and you find Facebook to be the most effective medium for marketing a product and engaging with your customers or audience, then it is completely justified to use Facebook. Just like it's important to schedule when you'll work, it's also important to schedule when to end your day. Performing deep work is mentally exhausting, and it is necessary to have some downtime to recharge your brain. A good practice is to end your day by writing down your to-dos for the following day, so your mind isn't stuck thinking about work when you ought to enjoy other things. Deep work is way more powerful than people think. Acquiring this skill needs hard work and drastic changes to your habits.